don't know what the hell I just did. And welcome live to the LV Home Experts Radio Show. If this is your first time tuning into this channel, my name is Chakits Krulsawat, licensed real estate agent out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Today we have something very special for you guys today. Today we just got back the market reports for the month of April. So we're going to take a look at what's going on with the Las Vegas housing market. Also, what's going on around the world, how the stock market now is affecting the housing market, and how the feds constantly keep raising rates and how that's going to impact the Las Vegas housing market. Today, we got just me and Danny here.
Oh, yeah,
you
Danny.
know how we do it.
How we roll.
If you guys don't know who Dan is a licensed lender out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Guaranteed rate mortgage, correct? Or is it guaranteed rate?
Guaranteed rate.
Yeah, I don't know why I always say like mortgage.
I always think that name is weird anyways, mortggage.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, you want to go get a mortgage? How about you just want to get a loan? Like, we understand what it is, but.
Matter of fact, just want to let you guys know that unfortunately I am not able to do a live video, right, or a podcast today, just due to the fact that by the time you're watching this, I'm probably out showing some luxury listings. So we decided to do a pre-recording. So that's what we're doing today. But the market, very unique out here in Las Vegas, especially on the luxury side. Things are moving quickly. I have a client, right? Check this out, Dan. I have a client that we're looking roughly about 3.5 million. And there were 17 homes that was scheduled to view tomorrow, right? However, and this is like 14 days ago, 14 to 20 days ago when we pulled these list of homes that he wanted to look at. So I'm taking them out tomorrow, which will be today as you're watching this right now. And 10 out of the 17 are gone already. And, and these are like homes that are over 3 million. In addition to that, today I was actually at a broker's open, one of the owners here of Simply Vegas, and we were having a conversation with the luxury market, right? It's kind of baffling. But last year he was telling me that his average sales was at 3.5. This year now his average sales is at 5 million.
So the question is, where's the money coming from? Like, is it, you got to have these buyers to buy these homes. I mean, you can think 3.5 million last year, 5 million this year. Yeah. I mean, where are these people coming from? Is it out of state? They're not buying from here, right?
I mean, we already know it's out of state. And I think what's happening is that from all the money that, the government has been printing, there's such a big segregation now from like middle class is now just mediocre, I guess. But then the wealthy just got even wealthier, right? Like, I have friends that were making millions of dollars a year. Now, all of a sudden, now they're making, 8 million, 10 million a year. Like, it's just like the gap is getting further. And it's like all the money that has been printed, it just seems like if you took advantage of the situation, you'd be making a lot of money. And I think what's happening now is all these people that have this kind of money, they need to park their money somewhere. And we talked about this numerous times. It just seems like every asset class is just so overinflated, right? I mean, you got the stock market. The bond market is like, I looked at it, was like the new 10-year treasury bonds, like at an all-time low at like 2.3. It went from like 2.75 to down to like 2.3, which is just like, it's not even worth it to even buy a treasury bond, just due to the fact that inflation is more than 8%. It's like, that doesn't make any sense, right? So it's like, where do you put your money? At this point, it should be some sort of tangible asset. So I'm thinking what's happening is that the way that the market is going, we have such low inventory, not only here in Vegas, but there was an article, and I talked about this our last podcast, that we're short about 5 million homes across the United States. And I notice now, like properties nowadays, and I talked about unicorn properties. You know what a unicorn property is?
Yeah, it's like a property that is not the same, or it's not like most other properties. It's almost like a custom home, right?
Yeah, it's like just say like a beachfront home or a home on the lake or something like that. You'll never get that type of home again. And, you know, those are the ones that I think is going to go a long way in today's market. But I'm also kind of afraid about stagflation. And stagflation can go two ways. And, you know, somebody criticized me the other day. They were like, well, your definition of stagflation is, you know, incorrect. Technically, stagflation is really, you know, when, you know, things move up on price and there's like less jobs, right? A certain percentage of less jobs. For me, and this is just my own opinion, this is stagflation. Nothing is moving, right? And pricing just keeps going higher. Doesn't mean it has to be loss of jobs. Technically, stagflation is basically things are going up, but we're not generating any money, any income. But, you know, that's what I'm worried about. Let's just say if you get stagflation. The question is, if nothing moves and you get stagflation, will the home pricing drop because nobody's buying homes at that point? Then the housing market will soften due to the fact that also you have higher interest rates. So does that mean the home pricing will go higher? Or if you go into stagflation, does that mean the housing market will also go higher? Rents will also go higher. So the question is, now, do you buy a property now, or you sit and wait and you see what's going on? Like, there's so much uncertainties, right, in the world today. Like, I don't even know what's going on.
Well, I think it comes down to just supply and demand and what people are willing to get into, regardless of whatever market it is. Like, yes, stagflation may be there, but I think if you need a home, and if you said we're short, 5 million homes across the country, then I don't really feel that as long as people are working and they have sustainability, and there's low supply, high demand, then you're going to continue to see in the housing sector that we're going to still see people buying homes. It might not be at that pace that we saw. It's going to slow down certain, like, I wouldn't say pockets, but price points.
Yeah.
So you look at the $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 price point. They're the ones that's going over list. Then you get to like 800,000, 900,000, to $1 million. Those are the ones that are actually coming in sometimes under list. And then once you get over that, it's like, then it goes back to that, we'll offer it list or maybe over list. So I think as the supply and the demand goes, the housing market's going to go. I think if you look at inflation overall and people's employment, that's a whole nother situation. And will those two things coincide where one of them affects the other? Maybe. But I think right now we still see a high demand for homes. And until something changes, I can't see how that's going to stop this train ride we're going on, where it may not be we're closing, as many units. We might not have as many homes, but
you still have a shortage of homes.
You still have a shortage, but you don't have a prices dropping significantly across all spectrums, right?
But what I'm seeing is that the median price point, I don't want to say the median price point, but I want to say homes that are around the 600 and below, a lot of them are starting to do the price reduction. And a lot of people are like, oh, the market is going to tank. But, I mean, the average days on the market now is still about 7 days. But, I think what's happening is a lot of sellers are starting to come and to start to realize I can't overlist the home, but also depending on the condition of the property. If it's like move-in ready, great location, you'll still get top dollar for it. But the ones that are just kind of like average, where it's like a home just for family, just to move in, just to get started, those ones are sitting a little bit longer unless they're priced correctly. Now, the other thing is that we've been so used to having multiple offers on a property where as soon as a property hits the market, you have like 50 offers, right? Now, just because you have 10 offers instead of 50, people consider, oh, it's slowing down. That's still a crazy damn market, don't you think?
Well, you can look at other markets.
It's like it's a mindset, dude.
Well, you got other states and other markets. And, you're right. I mean, getting 11 offers is still busy.
Yeah.
There's some places, though, that aren't getting any multiple offers. And so, like I said, Las Vegas could be an outlier for people want to move here. They want to buy here. And so it's going to continue to see this process of people getting that, even if it goes lower. You know, contingencies, people don't want contingencies.
Yeah.
They don't want, you know, you got to sell your house. I know I was talking to somebody the other day about it. You know, builders, if you have a contract in place, sometimes in some situations will take it, but for most part, they don't want nothing to do with anything that you have to do something before you close on that house. As the market goes, the market tells you what's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're reducing your house, your house isn't that value anymore.
Yeah. Like I noticed in like my neighborhood, home pricing has like jumped up so dramatically, but there's this home that just hit the market like probably a week ago. And you know, I live in such a great location, right? I mean,
is it next door to you?
No, it's not next door to me.
Oh, because I was going to buy that house.
I don't want you living next to me.
How much is it? Let me see, man.
So this home was like at $445,000, but it's still on the market. It's been probably about like almost like a week and a half, which is not that long, but the location is so great. But that just tells me the reason why it's not moving is because of the price per square foot. And it's almost like at 250, no, maybe more than that, maybe 280 a square foot. And that just tells me that the home is a little bit so small where, you know, it's just not moving, even though it's in a great location.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people just throw houses on the market, no sense of urgency.
Just kind of fish around and see what they can get, huh?
Well, it's like this. What do they got to lose?
No, you're absolutely right, because I'm doing that for my sellers too as well.
Right. What do you got to lose? I mean, you get a certain price point.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I would say probably about 75% of my sellers will just overprice it and just kind of fish around because they have some time. And that's what we're going through right now.
Somebody's crazy enough to come in and say, you know what, I want all of that and I'll spend a premium.
Now, I want to get into the market reports for Clark County. And I think this is actually very important that we need to take a look at here. Now, this is a lagging indicator because obviously we're no longer in April, but the reports have came out for April. And this is not a plug-in. This is a report from Clear Title, which is a title company. So this is not a sponsor or anything like that. But let's take a look at the full report here. So it looks like in April, we have a total of 3,100 homes that actually sold.
3,001.
Yeah, 3,001 homes sold in the MLS. And that does not include new homes. So take that into consideration, right? But a lot of these resale homes will be listed on the MLS. The median price point, $470,000. Now, the average is at $586,000, all right? But if you take a look at the sales comparison in the last month, it's minus 8.3. Now, the median comparison is 3.3. And now let's take a look at the average comparison for last month, 4.8 comparison last year for sales, down 14.9. And the median comparison last year is 26.7. I don't even know what all that means.
So it's a year-over-year basis, it looks like. So comparison to this is comparison to last month, actually. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
we have last month and also last year's, obviously. Okay.
Right.
But now let's take a look at this graph here. Well, not the graph, but this pie chart. So as you can see on the pie charts right here, you have majority of the resales. The trustee sales, you don't have that much. But before we go more into depth, what is all this? Okay. So here in the purple, this is a brand new home, a trustee sale, which means that it goes to a trustee and you can actually buy it there, okay? Now, an REO means real estate owned. Nobody bought it at the trustee sale, and now the bank has possession of the property, and then they take their property and they list it with a real estate agent like myself to put it back on the market. A short sale is basically before the trustee sale, the owners will go ahead and list the property with an agent, and the agent will negotiate with the bank on their behalf before the trustee sale. Does all that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So if we take a look down here, as you can see, the NOD, right, the notice of default, right, we had 174 filings in April. Now, just because you have the filings, typically when you have the filings, they end up doing the short sales before it goes to the NOS, which is the notice of sale. The notice of sale was 105.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, they sold, right? It went to the notice of sale, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's take a look at this. New home builds. Looks like new home builds is on here. 395 homes sold. Resale, 3,576. Short sales is only 8. And trustee sales are only 13. And REOs were only 20. So I get calls like this all the time. And people say, hey, Chakits, hey, man, what about the bank-owned properties? So if you're going to buy a bank-owned property, you take 20 divided by 350, 3578. That's like less than 0.5% of inventory for REOs. Okay. So basically what I'm saying is that the chance of you getting one is very slim, and you would actually have to pay cash. And by the time they hit the market, they're gone. Right. So if you're out there looking to purchase a home, thinking that, hey, just because it says it's on REO or a bank-owned property that you're going to get a discount. No, because you know why? There's an asset manager. He looks at what's going on within the marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
He looks at the comps. He knows what the property's worth. Is he going to give it at a discount?
No.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Nope. Not happening.
Not happening. Okay? A trustee sale. This is how it works. When you get the notice of default, 174 has been filed. Now, normally what happens is the owner's trying to work with the bank, right? At that point, they could be working with an agent. Now, out of 174, only 105 actually was set for a notice of sale. Then from a notice of sale, right, basically at the trustee sale, there was only 13 that actually got sold. Does that make sense? So out of 174 filings, 105 went to sale. Out of 105 that went to sale, only 13 actually been sold.
So what does the other go?
So the other goes, this is how it works. With the notice of sale, mm-hmm. It goes back to the bank, mm-hmm. right? Because it doesn't meet the reserves.
Right.
Then now they have to file to foreclose.
Okay.
Once that is done, then they'll take the property back and they'll actually list it with an agent. So that's why you only have 20, right, REO
sales.
Exactly. Because from the notice of sale, when it went to sale, right, and sometimes you can stop that sale by filing for bankruptcy. Now, I'm not trying to tell you how to cheat the system, because don't do that, because that's not what this is about. But there's the ways to stop the progress.
So
right?
Out of 174, you had 33 actually that actually were sold. That
is correct.
Through trustee or REO.
Yeah, that is correct. Okay. Now, remember, this data was actually pulled from Black Knight. Okay. So now let's take a look at this. So here's all the breakdowns of the zip codes. I'm really not going to go through these zip codes. Now, if you guys want this information, the good news is you're going to send York an email, right? And that email is Chakits, chakits.ckg@gmail.com. Again, that email address is chakits.k@gmail.com. You're going to say, York, I would like the monthly reports for the month of April. And he will go ahead and email this right on over to you. Okay. So now let's take a look here. I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. Now, this is actually appreciation by zip codes for Clark County. So let's take a look at some of these zip codes here. On this side of town, let me bring this in a little bit. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that. I think this is going to be a little bit better. Here we go. Okay. What zip code are you in, Dan?
89141.
89141? Where are you at? 8914.
Past it.
Right here. This is your zip code, right?
Yeah.
So it looks like they sold 105 units. And it looks like 14 right here. The average price was $640,000. at $254 a square foot. Wow. What size home do you live in right now?
2,500.
Okay, and this is 2,507. So this is pretty on point. From year to date, 20%. 20%.
Year over year.
Damn, that's crazy. In this zip code alone. Let's go to my zip code because this is fun. Okay. Where's 89123? 89123. Here's my zip code. 89123. Right? So it looks like 526, 2,100 square feet, 270. Wow, look at this. 26%, right? Am I right here?
Wow.
No, 23%. 23%. Yeah. Wow. All right, let's move on down a little bit more. Okay. So here is a map, and I think this is great right here. Price appreciation by zip code, right? This kind of gives you the overall. So here is the south side. Here's the north side, west, and on the east side. So if we take a look, where's the highest? 89031, 42%. The Northwest, 38%. Summerlin, 25%. I mean, these numbers are like unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
Right.
Right? I mean, unbelievable. All right, let's go down a little bit more because I know some of this stuff is boring. Ooh, this is the fun part right here. Oh, if you are a mortgage broker out here, this is fun. This is going to be for Dan right here. Mortgage shares. Rocket Mortgage. Wow. 667 loans. Carry about 8.5% loan default. 285 loans for the month of April. They're about 3.6 market share. United Wholesale Mortgage. Never heard of them. This is fun. Where are you at, Dan?
I'm not on that list.
Dang, you ain't on this list.
No, you passed it.
No, where am I? I seen guarantee rate. This ain't you, though.
No, it's not. That's Affinity.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't see guarantee rate. Damn, you guys didn't even make the list.
Go keep going down.
I know. See, I don't see you. Wow, guarantee rate is not even on here. But you guys are a nationwide company, though, right?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. But this can't be too accurate, and here's why. Because even though that you're a nationwide company, right, you may be selling more loans somewhere else versus Las Vegas. This only has to do with Las Vegas. Okay? But you're not on this list. Now, let's go to the notice of defaults. Let's break this down even further. Okay, let's look at this chart. Remember, a notice of default is basically, look, you're 90 days late. You need to start making payments, or we are going to set a notice for trustee sale. Give us our money. Start from here, April, right? 2021, 73. May, 69. Wow, look at this. October, it just jumps up double.
Wow.
191 filings. Kind of goes down a little bit. Wow, look at this. March, 228. That's a pretty big dramatic jump. Why do you think this is occurring right here?
December?
No, I mean this little trench here. Why do you think it's going up? Like, we literally had, double digits. Now we're in triple digits. You got this little trough going on. Why do you think we are having a high number of notice of defaults?
Not sure.
I mean,
my best guess?
Yeah.
I mean, people don't want to get foreclosed on during the holidays?
No. Remember, the notice of default is saying that you've been about 90 days late, 60 to 90 days late. So the question is, why from like October until now we're hitting triple digits of notice of defaults? Something is going on to the point where they're not making payments. Could be job related. But how can it be job related when it's so hard for a company to even get employees, right? So the question, why is this number going up? That's the first question. I mean, I don't know. That's why we need to figure this thing out. Now, 100 and, triple digits, like 190, 200, that's not that much. There were thousands before, right? So this is not that alarming. However, we need to know why this is going up. And we need to contact my man, Brian Liebel.
Yeah.
We need to bring him back on the show. Okay. So from here, notice of sale. This is where, hey, look, we've been sending out letters. Now we're going to go ahead and set this thing up. We're going to sell your stuff. We have a date. Now, if you notice, look, we're hitting triple digits in January 22.
Maybe it's like a reset because, like, you know, you look at people and, like, what they're doing with sending this stuff out. Because the bank controls those things. I'm not sure why somebody would let it go because what that's reading is it's 90 days past due on their payment, right? Mm-hmm. So is it because people would rather spend money on Christmas and holidays and not spend it, and all of a sudden now you see, oh, I got to get caught back up 3 months because maybe they're taking the money and allocating it to other things?
Yeah, but why would they do that first, right? Why would you, put yourself in a position like that? That wouldn't make any sense.
Who knows? I mean, why do people let it get 90 days past?
Well, my question to you is that, would you pay your mortgage first or buy Christmas presents?
Well, I would pay my mortgage, but I'm just saying everybody may think differently, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong because everybody does what they want, but you look at the notice of trustee sale, January, February, March. I'm just giving this speculation, but you think people suffer sometimes through holidays of like, am I giving what I should give to my family? And I don't want them to miss out. I don't know. Maybe it's a part of it.
Or this could be, lost a job and they could not, during the pandemic, they couldn't find the job that they have.
Yeah, but this is October 21.
I understand that. But like some people that they still haven't gone back to work or they got laid off, right, from that job. But then, they didn't bring them back and hire them. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
And now that the position that they're in, they may have a certain type of degree. They have a certain different type of lifestyle or, the price point for the home.
Yeah, but people are just thinking different these days.
Yeah.
Like you have the great resignation going on. People just not wanting to work or finding they're trying to hedge against inflation and saying, hey, I need a higher paying job. The same job. My mom, she runs a shop. She runs a company, right?
Yeah.
And she's had 13 people that have left her job and said, hey, we're making $5 to $10 more. You can't blame them. Mm-hmm. But there's opportunities out there. You have high numbers of jobs, and people are going to go out and they're going to seek a better living environment or living experience. They want to, they don't want to just live paycheck to paycheck. So maybe people are just thinking different.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that. So there's jobs out there is what I'm trying to say. So for them to say, well, January, February, March, we got laid off because of holidays and we couldn't come back. I just think that sometimes people look at what their obligations are. And I'm not saying that's what it is, but maybe it's part of what you said. Maybe it's part of the fact that people just have delayed and they're like, you know what? I'll catch it back up after the year. I don't know. I mean, but it's weird how it's November, December, January, like end of the year.
Yeah. It's towards the second half.
Yeah.
Now, the notice of sale. So basically this is when the sale has been scheduled. So as you can see all the filings here. So like in April, there was 105 that went to sale, which is a date has been set. We talked about that. So now here's the trustee's deed. This is actually the ones that actually sold. So if you take a look, this is only about, 25% of the notice of sale. But then if we take a look here, that's probably like less than 12%. Mm-hmm. But remember, we have about almost 3 million people here in Las Vegas. And let's just say we had like 2.5 million homes here. I mean, this is such a small number. It's not even a big deal. That's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like the high-rise sector here. Kind of shows you what's going on with the high-rise. But I'm just going to jump to it here. So these are like the main zip codes, like where pretty much all the high-rises are. Okay. As you can see from 2016 versus 2017, you can see the pricing. Looks like it's gone up pretty dramatically.
Why did they use 16 and 17?
I don't know. I think this is just probably a mistake. That's just strange. Okay, so that's all the numbers we have here. Okay, but we're going to dive deep. So we know that the month of April, $475,000 for the median price point for a home, correct?
Yep.
So now what we need to do is find out what's actually really going on today. we got to break it down, right? Because that's 30 days ago, right? Those numbers don't really mean anything to me. But again, if you guys want, the report, just send York an email and just request that you want the report. We'll get you the report too as well. Also, don't forget to visit lvhomeexperts.com. It is a great website to get started where you can literally start looking at homes immediately. What's great about this website, it's actually integrated with the MLS, which is the multiple listing service. So the way that this website was actually designed and created for you is to help and navigate, right, for what you're looking for. You can set up your own search criteria, and also it doesn't show you properties that in pending status or in contingent status. The reason why I've done this is so that way you're not wasting time by looking at properties you can't buy because it's not on the market, right? It's not like every other website, okay? But I want to get into the multiple listing service because we're going to pull and run some data here, okay? Now, a fun thing that we got here, let me just show you this stats real quick. Look at this. This is for all properties, but we're going to go single-family residence. But as you can see from like 2019, look how fast this graph is going up. Mm-hmm. Pretty dramatic, huh?
Yeah, it's very dramatic.
Now I want to break it down even further because I think this is fun. This is the fun part right here. So we're going to go to fast stats. Okay. We're going to go Clark County because this is where we're at. Now we're going to go zip codes. We're going to go to your zip code. You said it was 89141, right? Mm-hmm. 89441.
141.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay. Let's view this report real quick. So, the median sales price, $440 in 2001. Today is $532,500, up 21% in 12 months. 21%. That's amazing. Don't you think?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just...
That is unbelievable numbers, dude. 21% in 12 months. I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's actually astonishing.
I just wanted to show you that graph because, it's just a new stat that I found and I thought it was like fun.
Yeah.
Fun to do. And that's good to pull information. So when clients want to look at homes and they want to look at a certain zip code and they're like, oh, I don't know if I want to buy or not because of the pricing. Well, agents, you can use that statistic to show your client of what the potential of that zip code, right? You can even break it down even further down to the communities. But I want to find out what's going on in the last 7 days because this is the most important thing right now. The last 7 days, home sales, okay? We're going to go only single-family residents only. We're going to pull the whole Las Vegas Valley. All right, let's do this. Last 7 days, we sold 648 homes. Let's pull these numbers here. We're going to go all. Click status. Look at this. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Here we go. The median price for 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, $184,900. List price, $475,000. Look at this, up another $5,000 at $480,500 at $265 a square foot. Days on the market, 6 days. Dude, what is this? What does this tell you right here, dude? Like, seriously, what does this tell you, Dan?
That there's no stopping this going. Like I said, I mean, supply and demand, Yeah. People are going to pay still if they think that the value is there, and they do. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't know where to put their money, so they put it into a home. That's the easiest way. It's not a guarantee on getting a return, but at least you can store it. I mean, unless there's a recession or everybody talks about the crash, if you're not in the markets, you're not into crypto or anything else or gold, silver, whatever it is, then this is pretty much the way a middle-class person is going to invest.
I just think that we've printed so much money at this point where inflation is already here. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, inflation is actually here to stay.
Yeah.
I think even though the Feds, they tried to raise the interest rate high as they can, right? But obviously they're trying to do a soft landing. But obviously if they do like 2 points, it would stop the economy right away. But I think there's so much money in the supply line at this point. There's no way going back as far as dropping pricing on everything. It's just like I was looking at graphs like on like food costs. They never go backwards, right? Car pricing, they never go backwards. Nothing really goes backwards because we've already took that money and put it into the supply line, and people are buying things that are so expensive. And what happens is you get used to it, and you know, companies, they're not going to reduce their price, right? Because they got to keep their companies afloat, or they got to show all the stockholders that they're producing more money. Does that make sense? It's like,
well, you got to keep the lights on.
Yeah. So
I think that you got to look at supply and demand too, not just for the housing, but just in general for businesses and cars and whatever it is. You can retract the money, but it all comes down to what is the availability of materials and things that, cars and food and shelter and all these things we're talking about. I think it's not going to be a longevity position, but it could be a next couple years position. So if we had more things, like if things got better where we had more cars to sell, or we had, if they raise, we talk about tariffs, we're not going to go too much into it, but these things play a part into what these cars or what this merchandise has to be sold for.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we can pull levers and we can do this. Yes, but it really comes down to the reason cars are going up, the reason these things are going up from what we know is that there's not enough on the market to provide for everybody.
Yeah.
The same thing in the food market, same thing with cars, same thing with a lot of things that, we probably take for granted a little bit, that we've had these things at our fingertips, and they went up a little bit, but they didn't drastically go up like they are now. And so could they keep raising the Fed's fund rate to maybe push this down in the next 18 months? Sure.
I feel like they can slow down the market, but as far as like costs and goods will still remain the same. Inflation will always be here. Like, let me give you an example. I'm originally from Thailand, and I remember that you could buy like a soda for like 5 baht, right? But as inflation occurs, because your government prints more money, and even though that they try to slow down inflation by raising rates, that soda today is about 30 baht. Nothing goes down. Once it goes up, it goes up. And the problem is that that's what government will always do, is just keep printing money. But then what happens is you end up losing by working even harder and longer hours. So I don't want to get too technical with this, but it feels like you're almost like a slave to society. I don't know if I'm going way too deep or not. And the other thing I've noticed, I just want to bring this up, is that we're a country today that we don't really produce anything. We rely on other countries, and other countries also rely on us. But it's just like we're so globally connected at this point. Like we used to, I remember, I don't want to say I remember because I was a kid, but I know that in the early 70s, right, we used to have a high GDP, double digits. We had the largest world that held gold, right, reserve currency. Mm-hmm. We produced a bunch of stuff, but now it's just like it's all opposite. It's basically we're constantly buying and borrowing from different countries, right, just to stay afloat. And what's crazy about it is that other countries are basically buying our treasury bonds, and it's just IOUs. And the more and more that we sell, the more in debt we go, and the more that we owe somebody. And as we owe somebody, they're basically securing our assets. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, there's no quick fix to anything.
Yeah.
So I mean, going back to the situation that people are facing today, is that I think that inflation is way higher than anticipated.
Yeah.
I think you're always going to have a slight, because look, anytime you put money in to an economy, you're going to have inflation. And it, like I said, with all the things that was given out for stimulus checks, look, some people needed it, some people didn't. Businesses got money. You have that. They're printing, they're putting money into things like with this war. And look, maybe it is necessity for people have an argument there. But I think, when you look at the situation with inflation, they just want to bring it down, but it's not going to ever stop. So yeah, the things like you look at, like you said, these things, you know, they always go up. They do, and it's going to always be that way because we are in a debt-based society.
Yeah.
And they keep, you know, putting money into circulation. And, you know, you're going to see this game back and forth. It's going to be, you know, pulling back and forth to see how they can balance the market and not make it where, you know, because we're at that position right now. I think that inflation, if they raise the Fed's fund rate again, you're going to see a higher inflation.
Yeah.
Okay. But people aren't buying. And so there has to be a balance.
Yeah.
If you're not buying anything and it's just sitting there and nothing's going, but yet what people are buying are necessity things, right? They're not buying non-necessity things, but like you look at luggage, traveling, people are buying that. Maybe they were cooped up. I don't know, but people aren't buying, you know, crazy things anymore.
I still am. Now I want to take a look at the townhomes. All right. The median price for a townhome that was listed is at $350,000. Closing on a townhome, $360,000 for a townhome now, which is outrageous because I remember when I bought my house, it was only $195,000, and I paid $10,000 more, and it was a bank-owned property.
Yeah.
Average days, 6 days on the market. What do you get? 1,482 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Now, that's pretty unbelievable. I mean, a payment on a townhome today at $360,000. I mean, your lease paying at $2,200 a month.
Yeah.
I remember when I bought my first home and I had my first payment before I refinanced, it was like $1,400 a month. And boy, let me tell you, that was a commitment. Like, I was scared. Like, oh my God, I'm really doing this. What happens if I don't make the payment?
Yeah, but you got to think about the market you were in.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That market was, you know, average home on the market was $120,000. So, I mean, it's like, wow, you know, fast forward today, people maybe, doesn't make it better.
Yeah.
But it's.
Now, let's take a look at some condos, because when somebody's looking to purchase a home, if they can't afford a home, they end up moving over to a townhome. If they can't afford a townhome, then they take a look at condos. So let's take a look at a condo today. So across the board for a condo, $249,000. Closed at $255,000. That makes me feel a little bit good. I'm currently under contract on an investment property right now for $225,000, which is, I feel like I'm paying $225,000 for a 1,000 square feet condo, and my house was only $195,000. Like, am I freaking crazy?
You did it?
Well, I'm closing at the end of this month.
Wow. So what made you think, like, hey, I'm going for it? Like,
well, here's the thing. I just literally did a video on, you know, me selling my real estate portfolio. So that video is about to launch here in the next probably couple weeks or so, but I'm readjusting on my real estate portfolio, and you should always be doing this. You should always look at your financial situation, especially if you are an investor. You want to see which property should you liquidate to scale. And I don't want to go too much in depth because that video, I literally break everything down for you, and I explain the reason why I'm selling that to reposition to scale my real estate investment portfolio. However, this one makes pretty much sense, where if I can get it for, you know, $225,000, you know, I can probably rent it out for probably about like 13 and some change. I can receive probably about a 4% return. However, you know, there's that thing in the back of me where it's stating that this thing could tank, right? But you never know. But the problem is that throughout my whole life, right, I've always been conservative. And I think the reason why is because I've always lived in poverty and I've always been broke. So the mentality is always, you know, what if? What if? And the other day I was at this luxury listing, and I was talking to this rehabber that's flipping like this $3.5 million home. And he bought it for like 1.4, 1.5. And he's throwing like, I think almost $1 million into it, right? I'm like, dude, how do you do something like that? Because I'm scared. You know what he told me? He goes, Chakits, you ain't got the balls. Dude, I was like, I ain't got the balls. That's right. That kind of hurt a little bit. Hurt my feelings. But then I started realizing he's right. I ain't got the balls. You got to take chances in life. So in this one, it's kind of 50-50, but, you know, I'm rolling the dice. So if the market does crash, it doesn't matter. I'm still making a certain percentage of return. But I may also just liquidate this and a couple other properties too as well, right? Because, you know, I'm telling you, man, $1 million in the bank ain't crap today. I mean, if you're going to reposition, you got to have a few $1 million. So that's what it's all about. I'm probably going to end up cleaning this thing up a little bit, probably putting it back on the market. Hopefully we can flip it if the numbers actually make sense. So we're going through the negotiating process right now. But, man, $255,000 for a condo. All right. Now let's move on. I want to take a look at some high rises because we haven't talked about high rises for some time here. Unfortunately, high rise is not on here, but let's do this. We're going to come back here. We're going to do high rises. Let's see here. Last 7 days. All right, let's take a look at this. 21 high rises.
High rises are tough.
Yeah, they're very hard to finance too, but they look gorgeous depending on which ones you look at, right? Let's see here. So for a 900 square foot high rise, $380,000 to $450 a square foot. That is insane, dude. $450 a square foot, not even including the HOAs. Days on the market is 26 days. Wow, this is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, I mean, overall, what is your take on this housing market at this point?
I think it's slowed down. And I think that supply and demand is still there, but it's slowed down significantly. I feel that buyers are just, this is not like, there's sense of urgency. There's a sense of like activity in the air.
Yeah. In
Las Vegas over the last, let's say, decade. And this is the first time that we've seen it this slow. And I'm not saying that deals aren't getting done, but the activity and the vibe that you feel is a little different vibe. It's still people are buying, but not everybody's looking to buy. Not everybody is all in on this is what I'm going to do. There's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of people thinking that this is it, and we're not gonna see this market because we're gonna see a huge decline. So I feel it's a weird time a little bit because there's not a lot of people that, we're not talking about the people like you that are in real estate or the people that are always looking for a deal or flippers or investors. We're talking about the average person out there that has interest in buying a home beyond coming from another state. And I think that's what I'm trying to say is the activity level has slowed down. The demand is still there, but you're not seeing the average person out there that says, should I not buy a house? Should I get in now or should I not? I think they're just discouraged, and home affordability is gone.
Well, I think you hit it dead on the nail, and that's where I talked about that 600 and below price point, because majority of your buyers are buying at that price point. But as these rates are going up, it really pushes their mortgage a lot higher than what they expected. And what happens is that they're losing discretionary income, right? So that extra, $500 that they had saved away for, lunch money, dinners, going out, that's taken away from that. Also, when you have gas pricing, that takes away from that. Food, inflation, that's taken away from that. So now what's happening is it's putting more pressure on the average person like myself. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, but you listen, I'm not saying you're not average or you can put your class or whatever it is. You have options. Okay. I would say you have options more than most because of some of the successes you've had. Now, I do want to say that if rates were where they're at today and we had prices half the cost of where they're at, $250,000, that may not have made this market where it's at today.
Yeah.
This is a perfect storm where you have low supply, high demand. And I keep saying this because you got to look back and say, when has this ever really taken place where you have all-time highs on home values and home prices? You have rates going up at the same time. You have high inflation at 40% year highs, right? And then you have low inventory.
Yeah.
And you look at all those things, that's going to give you this market.
And also, I want to do a quick generic plug again here. I wonder if you guys got some free time. I want you guys to visit lvhomeexperts.com because this is a great website here, because Once you come here, you sign in. Basically, you have access to all the properties. And take a look at this. Look, what's nice about this is if I plan to buy a $7.8 million home that's at 9,000 square feet, look, it already shows you the estimated monthly mortgage, $36,000. That's not that bad.
No, I mean, just, you know.
I was being sarcastic. That's $36,000.
I was going to say donate some organs.
So, I mean, if you take a look here, what's nice about this, you have all these pictures here. I'm just going to kind of give you a quick rundown about this website. So it really just kind of breaks everything down. You can literally click this action button. You can save it. You can chat now with an agent, or you can ask a question and an agent will get back to you. Or we can actually email you some new properties. Or if you want to print out a flyer, you can go ahead and do that. Or what's great about this is take a look at this, a calculator. Look, we break it down for you. Look, we built this website just for you to make it so much easy, right?
Yeah.
And you want to know what the cost is? It's free $99.
Free $99? Yeah, do you mind?
Free $99. Look, we break it down even the schools.
Boom.
Elementary, mid school, right? Look, we break all this down. Make it very simple. Look, if you want to reach out to me directly, boom. Chuck, I got more questions about this property. Ask, and you shall receive. Look at this. You can also just scan the QR code if you wanted to as well. Matter of fact, when you have some free time, scan the QR code now. Scan it now.
There you go.
Would you like a refinancing tune-up? Let us know.
Refinancing tune-up.
Now, if you scroll down a little bit more, this is even great because, look, you can zoom in and zoom out. And also, look at this. It's integrated with, look at this. I'm about to tee off right now. See? Tell me. Tell me.
You know what I'm a little upset about?
How great this website is.
Is that, you know, you and I do a lot of podcasts, but
yeah,
you never invite me to go golfing.
Because you suck.
Just...
And that's the damn truth.
Hey, okay? Man, I just swing with two left hands.
Last time we went golfing, Dan almost had a heat stroke. You remember that?
Yeah, it was only 119, and there was no shade.
It was very hot.
And I think there was only 3 people on the golf course that day.
Yeah.
And it was just the best day to go. Yeah, right.
Also,
whose idea was that, by the way?
It was my idea, which is the stupidest thing ever. Also, what you can do is, what I like about this is that you can also change up the grid, right? How you want to look at the homes here. You can go actually, if you want to just search homes just with the map view too as well. So, I mean, you could do this. And what's great about this is take a look at this, right? Look at this. You can zoom in, zoom out, chat now right here. And also you could set up your own search criteria. Look at this. If you just want to just do the map, Look at this. You could just move the map around, all right? Hey, I just want to be in this little section.
Yep. 2
bedrooms and up, 2 bathrooms and up.
Yep.
My max, I'm going to say minimum, you know, boom, 175,000. Look at this. Search, boom, easy, 1, 2, 3. It shows you all the properties within your search criteria.
Nice.
Now I'm going to go back here. Okay. We can search by the address. Look, if you got an MLS number, you just plug in the MLS number. Now,
boom.
If you are thinking about selling your home, because now I'm doing a bunch of listings, okay? Doesn't matter. 50,000, $250,000, $500,000, 10 million. Treat you guys all the same. I want to earn your business. That's right. I know I sound like a sales guy right now, but this is fun. I like the sound of my own voice. Financing. If you're going to buy a home, what you're going to do here, this is where you're going to go to get started right here. Okay, let me show you guys this again. Up here on this tab, you're going to hit financing. From the financing section, guaranteed rate mortgage. Let's get started right now with Dan French. That's right. If you take a look, takes you directly to his landing page.
I didn't even know you had this on here, Chuck.
Yeah, this is how you get here. You're going to hit
nice.
Apply now. That's right. Look, if you are planning on purchasing a home or refinancing, guarantee you ain't refinancing right now, especially with interest rates. It doesn't make sense. Everybody's already refinanced, so that's out of the question. I don't even know why you even have that on there, Dan. Anyway, you're going to hit this.
Because I want people to...
I'm purchasing a home now. This is where you're going to start the process.
Yeah.
Are you ready to make an offer or have a signed purchase agreement? No, I'm still shopping for a home. Yes. Or are you doing a VA? Well, I'm going to say no. What are you looking to purchase? Single-family residence. A primary residence, right? I'm applying on my own. Look at this. Do you see how easy this is, Dan?
I got it in less than 10 minutes. I mean, people love it. They rave.
Because it's your website.
Well, they just rave at the convenience of it. And, you know, they just can't wait to get that loan going.
Now, another thing that I want to show you here, and this is very important, because every licensed real estate agent is an independent contractor and hangs their license with a real estate company. I'm an independent contractor. I hang my license with Simply Vegas. Sometimes you may want to reach on out to me. You call the office here directly at Simply Vegas, and you end up speaking to an agent. The agent says, hey, or you may ask the agent, do you work with Chakits? They may say yes, but now you are under the impression that they work with me and my team. That is false. What you need to do is to make sure to ask them, do you work on Chakits' team? All right. First of all, let me get out of here because I'm in the wrong sector right here. I'm going to show you this right here. This is where you're going to go to make sure that the agent that you are working with is literally on Chakits' team. And this is important, folks. Okay. You're going to go here, agent roster. Okay. You see here? We got operations manager Joey Andron. We got York, assistant.
Nice.
We got buyer's agent Nikki, Greg, Judith, Chakits. That's me. Look how handsome I look.
Yes, I love the little pink. What is that called that you put in?
That little scarf thing or whatever.
Scarf, yeah, like that. Okay.
And I just want to say welcome to our new agent, Joseph.
Nice guy.
Brand new agent. He's killing it. Working hard, okay? Zachary. Zach, this guy's been with us probably 9 months now. He's already destroying it, and you guys already know David, okay? Here's the blog. This is the last time I did a blog. Oh, my God, it was so long, yeah. Anyway, don't worry about the blogs, okay?
That was last year.
Yeah, it was last year. If you guys want to go to the blogs, just basically check us out on Instagram now. So that was pretty much with my generic plug, right? And
I liked it.
Did you like the plug?
No, I mean the voice. Like you really had that deep, soothing voice today, Chakits.
It really sounded like a salesperson, but today I really did like the sound of my voice, and I just wanted to talk. I mean, you really didn't even have to be here. I could have just put a picture here.
Yeah, you just got to buzz me in. Like, what are you saying? I'll just say a couple things and go back.
But most importantly, I want you to finish off with this, Dan. Financing. Give us a quick rundown of what's going on with the financing. What are you seeing out here? Because this is important.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, we'll do it on another time. But the rates have not done much. Financing's still somewhat tough. They're going to change the appraisal situation. There's not much really else going on. I think it's just everybody's just kind of, there's a lot of layoffs.
What do you mean layoffs?
There's a lot of companies laying off employees because they just don't have the production. You know, it's as the market goes for real estate, but mostly for lenders, you're either going to keep, stay there or you're going to let it go. And you're seeing a lot of transition happen right now.
Yeah, I think Rocket Mortgage laid off, 2,500
a lot
lenders.
Of people. So everybody's in the lending world is just kind of like, okay, let's kind of be patient and see what happens.
Yeah.
We talked about, Fannie and Freddie. That's the government sanctioned entities. They're not putting or investing a lot. They put loan level adjustments on second homes, investment homes. So people that are trying to buy those, good luck. You're gonna have to put more money down, and people see higher rates. Also, rate locks.
Yeah.
Extended rate locks. We have 6 to 12 months.
Ooh, I love that. Love that program. A lot of lenders are doing that now, and I think that's helping out a lot of these new homeowners. So. Good job, Dan. Now, if you guys haven't had a chance to subscribe to that channel or to this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And also, don't forget to give me a thumbs up too as well. Also, show some love. That's right, man. I want to earn your business. Give us a call.